This rainbow trout almondine is one of my favorite 15-minute dinners. Inspired by French recipes for trout almondine, and almondine, by the way, just means prepared with almonds, my version is equally fancy, yet also simple, fast, and delicious, in true Downshiftology style. So if you're looking for a new rainbow trout recipe that's not just pan-fried in garlic butter, but has an elevated French twist with the best briny and lemony almondine topping, I am quite confident that you're gonna love this recipe. So let's dive right in. Now, I'm not exaggerating when I say this is an incredibly easy recipe to make. In fact, you just have one ingredient that requires any chopping today, and that's parsley. And you'll need about 3 tablespoons of roughly chopped parsley for the beautiful pop of fresh green in the topping. And you can just set that aside for now. Then juice half of a fresh lemon, which is about 1.5 tablespoons of fresh juice. And you guys know my motto on lemon juice, fresh is always best in terms of flavor. Though I also won't judge if you use bottled juice because I understand real life. Moving on to the trout, you'll need 2 rainbow trout fillets. Rainbow trout are usually smaller and have paler flesh compared to steelhead trout, which is often used more interchangeably with salmon given their size and flavor. So if you can't find rainbow trout for this recipe, you could also swap in catfish, sole, or flounder. Pat the trout dry with paper towels and then season them both with salt and pepper. Lightly dust the fillets with about a tablespoon of flour on each side and pat it in. You can use cornstarch or arrowroot powder if you're gluten-free like me, or an all-purpose flour if you're not gluten-free. The flour not only gives the trout a beautiful color when it's fried, but it also helps to prevent it sticking to the pan. And once you're done with that, you can take your fish over to the stove. Heat about a tablespoon of olive oil and a tablespoon of butter in a large sauté pan over medium heat. Once the butter starts to bubble and shimmer, add the trout to the pan skin side down. Let the trout cook undisturbed for 3 to 4 minutes. This allows the bottom side to get a little bit of a crust so that the fillets can naturally release from the bottom of the pan. Then gently flip them over. I'm using a fish spatula, which makes this really easy, and I'll link this in the description box below. But as you can see, there is no sticking whatsoever with the fish, even on a stainless steel pan. Oh, and a little pro tip, make sure to flip the fish away from you so that if there is a slight splatter of oil when you flip, you don't end up with little oil dots down the front of whatever you're wearing. Cook the trout for an additional 3 minutes or so on this side, then remove them to a serving platter or individual plates. And you can always warm the plates ahead of time to keep the trout warm while you make the almondine topping, though it does come together really quickly. Grab a few paper towels and remove the remnant oil and crispies from the pan. While this isn't required, it does prevent little blackened bits in the final sauce, so I always do it, especially when I'm serving this recipe for guests. Then return the pan to medium heat and melt 3 tablespoons of butter. Add 1/3 cup of sliced almonds and stir the almonds in the butter for just a couple of minutes until the butter starts to brown and the almonds are lightly toasted. Don't over toast them at this stage as they do continue to toast and darken even after you've turned off the heat. So just a light golden color on a couple of almonds is what you want to see. To finish the sauce off, turn off the heat, then add the lemon juice along with the chopped parsley and 1 heaping tablespoon of drained capers. Stir this until it's just combined and then even divide this buttery lemony sauce over each rainbow trout fillet. For a finishing touch, you can squeeze a little bit more fresh lemon juice on top, or just serve some fresh lemon slices with each plate and let each person do their own. I think it looks so pretty served on this small platter, and since I know you guys are gonna ask, yes, I've linked it below as well. But if you want to plate the rainbow trout almondine immediately onto individual plates, you can also do that. I'm serving it with my sauteed green beans recipe today for a light and fresh meal, but you could also add some mashed potatoes or mashed cauliflower or serve it up with some roasted broccoli and rice. I've had this trout recipe on repeat over the last month and have made it for several friends who came to visit my new condo, and it has received rave reviews all around. If you guys follow my social media, you know that the last 2 years I have been in France. Last year I was in the south of France and just recently I was in Paris. And I will be back to France next year. I'm taking my nephew on his high school graduation trip. But the last couple of years that I've been, I keep seeing trout almondine being taken to tables, and it looks and smells delicious, and I haven't been able to enjoy it. And that's what inspired me to make it at home. So let's dig in now with a bite shot. Get some of it. It is light and fresh and buttery and lemony and briny. And I will say that the capers are not always traditional, but I love the addition of capers, that briny touch with just the lemony herby flavor. It's so good. Now, while this is the perfect healthy weeknight meal or family dinner, I also think it makes for the perfect date night meal because it is so easy, start to finish, as you guys saw, just 15 minutes. And you can prep and measure all of the different ingredients from the capers and the parsley and the sliced almonds ahead of time, have those all in separate little containers. And then when your date arrives, you can easily pan fry the trout, make the almondine topping, and serve it up beautifully. In terms of storage, I don't think you're gonna have any leftovers because we have just 2 fillets in this recipe. But if you do happen to have leftovers, you can store the extra fillet in the fridge for up to 3 days. I hope you guys enjoyed today's rainbow trout almondine, and if you did, make sure to give the video a thumbs up. Let me know if you'd like to see other 15-minute dinners in the future. And with that, I will see you guys again in the next video.